If you have a Capital One account, stop what you're doing because Capital One just agreed to a $425 million settlement and millions of customers are owed money. And here's the even crazier part. The government says Capital One cheated customers out of more than $2 billion in interest. Not 2 million, $2 billion. This is the craziest story. And it was all because they created two nearly identical accounts. One that paid almost nothing in interest and another that paid up to 14 times more. But according to the lawsuit, customers were never told. And the even worse part is employees were allegedly told not to tell customers about the higher paying account. So a lot of these employees knew about it and they're like, listen, go get that one, go get that one. But then they couldn't because then they would get in trouble, which is wild. So in today's video, I'm going to break down what this lawsuit actually exposed, who qualifies for the settlement, how to check if you're going to get paid, and the mistake millions of people are still making with savings accounts right now. Because if you had the wrong account, you might have been getting almost zero interest for years. So let's go ahead and jump right in and break this down. First, let's talk about what Capital One was accused of doing. Here's where things get crazy. Capital One had two savings accounts with almost identical names. Account number one was a 360 savings. Account number two was a 360 performance savings. Sounds almost the same, right? But the interest rates were completely different. The 360 savings account was stuck at around 0.3% interest. Meanwhile, the 360 performance savings account was paying up to 14 times higher interest. And of course, according to the lawsuit, Capital One allegedly froze the rate on the lower account while promoting themselves as offering some of the best interest rates in the country. But here's the part that triggered the lawsuit. Customers with the lower rate account were never moved to the higher rate account. And according to the complaint, the biggest part, employees were allegedly restricted from telling customers about it. So think about it. Millions of customers believed they had a high yield savings account, but were actually sitting on a low interest account the entire time. And that difference added up to over $2 billion in lost interest. And that's why this lawsuit actually happened. But let's talk about why the government actually got involved. Now, this case actually started with the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, the CFPB. The CFPB accused Capital One of misleading advertising, underpaying interest to customers, and intentionally keeping customers in lower yield accounts. And they claimed the bank marketed the account as having one of the highest interest rates in the country. But internally, those higher rates were only being applied to the newer product. And many existing customers were never switched over. Now, Capital One, of course, denies allegations. I love how they always say that, allegations, allegations that billions of dollars were just swept under the rug in an allegation. But the CFPB also says they widely advertised a higher yield account, including on television. And they argue the lawsuit was filed right before a change in administration. But even with that, a class action lawsuit continued forward. And now, a $425 million settlement has been officially reached. We actually covered this story when it broke about this savings account, and I honestly thought it was gonna get swept under the rug, but no, the class action marched forward, thankfully. Now let's do the breakdown of the $420 million settlement. Here's how the settlement money is going to be divided. Out of the $425 million settlement, about $300 million will go directly to customers who lost interest. This is meant to compensate depositors for the difference between the low rate account and the higher yield account. The remaining money will go to current account holders and administrative costs. Of course, the lawyers and the attorneys. And I get it. People are going to say, why does so much money go to them? I mean, they had to put the case together. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I get it. I get it why it sucks. Why so much money has to go to the actual attorneys and the cases involved in it. And honestly, the people that went through it should get the most amount of money, period. There's no other honest response to that. Now, before everyone gets excited, there's a very important thing that I have to tell you. The settlement still needs final approval from a judge. This is a court hearing scheduled soon, and once approved, payments will begin processing. But here's the key question everyone is asking. Who actually qualifies for this money? So of course, let's break that part down also. But the very important date to know is going to be April 20th, 2026 is when the final decision will be made on this actual settlement, which I believe it's finally going to go through because all parties have actually agreed to it. Unless the judge is paid off or something, that's the only thing I can come up with at this point, because it's very important to understand that you can actually go to the website and see exactly where it states this, that this is actually a second settlement agreement, that proposed settlement was not approved by the court. And so a new settlement was negotiated that provides enhanced benefits to current and former 360 savings account holders, because they actually didn't want to give any type of settlement to the existing account holders. They only wanted to help the previous ones. So that's why there wasn't an agreement and it wasn't approved. Well, scratch that. It was actually the judge that said, yo, what about the existing actual customers that have still been there and may not be aware of this? Why are they not included? And so, of course, Capital One's like, oh shit, yeah, we're cooked. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with a 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Luis. Luis's credit score went up 261 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. And Jency's credit score went up 225 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget James. James's credit score went up 207 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast's link is going to be in the video description and pinned at the top of the comments for anyone that needs to fix their credit. Now let's talk about who qualifies for the settlement. If you had a Capital One 360 savings account between September 2019 and June 16th, 2025, you may qualify for a payment. But this is important. The settlement specifically applies to the older account called 360 savings. It does not apply to the 360 performance saving, the checking account, credit cards, or CDs. Only the original 360 savings account is part of this lawsuit. So if you had that account during that time frame, you are likely part of the settlement class, even if you close the account later. And a lot of people don't realize that, but you can still qualify even if you close your account years ago, which means there could be millions of former customers who are eligible, and reports are stating that it could be up to a $450 payment per settlement per person. So now let's cover how to check to see if you're eligible. So here's exactly how you check. Step 1, confirm the account name. Log into your Capital One account or check old statements. You want to look for the exact wording, 360 savings. Remember, it's not 360 performance savings. That distinction is extremely important. Step 2, check your account dates. Look for when the account opened, when the account closed, and what interest rates you were receiving. If the account existed between 2019 and 2025, you may qualify. And step 3, watch for settlement notices. Because if you're eligible, you may receive an email notice or a letter in the mail. This is why it's very important to always keep your address updated with your actual banking accounts or credit card companies, and your email, you need to check the email that is attached to that specific Capital One account so you can see if it even is in your junk mailbox. Check your junk mail. And no, do not fall for the scam where they're going to tell you, hey, you can actually pay us and we'll do the actual settlement for you. No, do not do that. Only go through the actual information you get directly from the settlement. Or there may be a secure message inside your Capital One account. This will come from the settlement administrator, but please pay attention to scams. Whenever settlements happen, fake emails start circulating. Always verify through official sources. Last part's the most important. Now, of course, I want to talk really quickly about the settlement website and the claim process, because there will also be an official settlement website created by the court. I'm going to drop that link in the video description. On that website, you'll be able to check eligibility, update your contact information, see payment timelines, and track the status of the settlement. Now, here's the good news. In many bank statements, you don't actually have to file a claim. Payments are often automatic or current for former customers because they know you were a customer. Money is most likely going to be sent through direct deposit, check, or a credit to your account, depending on what you choose. However, if you close your account or you moved, you need to update your contact info. So you could just reach out to Capital One and update it there, or update it on the actual settlement administrator website. Otherwise, you might miss the payment entirely. Now, here's a big lesson from this lawsuit, because there's always a bigger lesson here. Most people never check their interest rates. They open a savings account and forget about it for years. Meanwhile, banks are quietly changing products. They launch new accounts and your money could be sitting there earning almost nothing. And that's exactly why you should regularly check your interest rates, new account options, and whether your bank offers better products. Because the difference between 0.3% and a high yield account can be thousands of dollars over time. And that's exactly why this lawsuit happened. But now I want to hear from you. Did you have a Capital One 360 savings account? And do you think banks should be allowed to keep customers in lower paying accounts like this? Drop a comment below and let me know, because I'm going to be reading all the comments as usual, and I will be responding. And if you want to learn how banks actually profit off of your money, all you got to do is make sure to smash that subscribe button, because I break down the financial system in ways that most people never hear about. And trust me, there's a lot more happening behind the scenes. And if you have any collections, charge-offs, or negative items that you need to delete from your credit reports, make sure to watch this video right here, because it's going to show you how AI will do all the work for you, mail your letters, and it comes with the 110% money back guarantee. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.